Bernie Sanders has been attacked pretty harshly over the course of the past week by his former supporters or current supporters. It's kind of hard to tell in some cases today if people actually support him, but they've been attacking him because of his endorsement of Hillary Clinton. As if endorsing Hillary or not endorsing Hillary was the only thing that Bernie Sanders planned on doing in politics for the course of the rest of his life, which I don't believe and he doesn't believe, and he's made clear for a long time that revolutions are not about one election. They're about much more than that. And to that end, he announced today some of the steps he's going to be taking going forward to put that revolution into actual effect outside of the context of whoever wins this presidential election or whatever happens at the convention. And there are three organizations that he has proposed so far. We have some initial details on those. The Sanders Institute will help raise awareness of enormous crises facing Americans, which I take to mean continuing to push forward Bernie's core message, which has always been about the enormous crises facing America and Americans. The Our Revolution political organization will help recruit, train, and fund progressive candidates' campaigns. And a third political organization, which is currently unnamed, may play a more direct role in campaign advertising. And as an example of what he plans to use those last two for, Sanders plans to support at least 100 candidates running for a wide range of public offices, from local school boards all the way up to congressional seats, at least through the 2016 elections. So if you thought that, oh, it was just vague language about making sure that we run a grassroots campaign, that we don't just compete for one elected position, but the entire range from top to bottom, from the East Coast to the West Coast, no, he is actually putting that into effect right now as we speak. And we have a couple of quotes from Bernie about what exactly these organizations are intended to accomplish, what message he's sending to the Democratic Party. He says, if we are successful, what it will mean is that the progressive message and the issues that I campaigned on will be increasingly spread throughout the country. The goal here is to do what I think the Democratic establishment has not been very effective in doing, and that is at the grassroots level. Encourage people to get involved, give them the tools they need to win, help them financially. And so he is preparing for whether it's Hillary that wins the presidency or if it's Trump, that the progressive movement needs to continue to grow in the same way that it grew enormously over the 8 years of Barack Obama's presidency. It doesn't even matter if you have a Democratic president in office. You still need to make sure that people are learning, people are getting involved, and they're being educated and informed about what's going on in the country. And that is what he is doing. And he also said this: the way to go forward is to build a progressive movement around a very progressive agenda. What you're seeing is more traditional Democrats, more establishment Democrats move in our direction because they see the support out there for our ideas. And that is exactly what we have seen over the course of the past 8 years. The country has changed, people have changed, and their views have changed, and the Democratic politicians have been forced to begrudgingly move in that direction. And that's what he sees going forward. That's what he sees his role to be. It's unfortunate. We all wanted him to be president, but this is incredibly important, perhaps more important in the long run, that we don't just elect a president, but that we change a country from top to bottom. And I think that we can all agree that these are good steps, necessary steps, not completely surprising steps, since he is putting into effect what he's been saying for a long time that he's going to do. Now, many people are still going to be pissed off at him because he endorsed Hillary Clinton, and they're not fans of Hillary Clinton, and that's fine. They're entitled to their opinions. But bear in mind that Bernie Sanders is not exactly new to this. He's not unwise. He's not a naive kind of guy. And there's every chance in the world that he understands just a little bit more about how to put the revolution into effect going forward than some of his anonymous critics online. And that's my final judgment.